I hate that everyone isn't raising their hand because I believe that you guys are all leaders. Today, I'm going to be going over what leadership is, effective traits of a leader, and lastly, how to lead through adversity. I have a short clip that I would like you guys to view. McKenna and Joyce, in their article, talked about Friedman's theory. So I would like to extend you guys the chance to watch this to watch this video with me.
A leader is someone who influences a group of individuals to accomplish a common goal, whether that goal is to design a fuel-efficient car, respond to an international military crisis, or find a new company health plan. Now, there are many different ideas out there about how to become an effective leader. Some suggest that leaders must have certain traits, such as intelligence or self-confidence, sociability, maybe even being tall. Others say it's about technique or skill that leaders can acquire. But in A Failure of Nerve, the late Edwin Friedman goes against the grain of leadership studies and suggests that effective leadership is not about traits or skills as much as it is an emotional process of regulating one's own anxiety.
As we have learned in previous classes, leadership is situational. It depends on the organization and the individual. So I wanted to go over some traits that research suggests makes an effective leader. First one being conviction. Conviction is when a leader is not afraid to acknowledge when things are out of their control. Perspective, a clear mission. I consider this a marathon, as in you know your start and you know your finish. Relationships. An effective leader is a good listener. They're able to get feedback from all employees of the organization. And lastly, self-understanding. A leader knows how to be accountable and not blame others when things do go wrong. An example of this was when in Mike Bishop's class, we had Sarah Bowman talk, and she brought up how she had hired a consulting firm, and the consulting firm was not on the appropriate timeline, but she was still able to go and talk to her managers and let them know that they weren't going to be on schedule. Instead of blaming the consulting firm, she was able to find a solution to the problem. And lastly, leading through adversity. A leader takes a well-defined stance. Even if others in the organization don't follow them, they still know how to lead. Another one is regulating one's own anxiety. When you're leading others and you're anxious or you have anxiety, you can put that off on other people, those anxieties. So it's important as a leader that you aren't anxious. And lastly, they are able to associate. They are able to associate with everyone in the organization. And once again, be able to get feedback and use that feedback. And lastly, I would like to leave you guys with this quote. Remember, diamonds are made from pressure.
How'd it go, John? How'd it go?
Oh, how'd it go? I was like extremely nervous. I'm an introverted person, and presentations are still something I'm getting used to. So for me, it was like my nervousness and just being confident in what I do know.
Something that helps me because I hate presenting. If you just kind of, like I said, like after I present, you just in yourself, just tell yourself, like, just pretend that you're not talking to anybody, kind of like pretend that you're not nervous. That might make you, like, at least outside, not so nervous. That's what I think.
Gotcha. Other feedback?
You had a moment where it looked like you forgot what your next line was, but then you took the pause and then you jumped right back. And that was the pause.
You took a very broad topic like leadership. You focused in on one part of it that I thought was a very unique take on leadership. Like the video said that leadership is regulating anxiety, and you stated that, and I thought that was like really interesting and it made a lot of sense. You had really good information. And I think, like you said, just the next step is becoming comfortable, becoming confident. It was really good information. And you took a really unique angle on something that is very broad and that there's a lot of cliches to it. Now it's just like training that presenting muscle and just becoming comfortable, getting that mentality of, yeah, I can do this. This is fun. I'm gonna be creative with it. Because like you said, a bit more introverted and I'm used to it, which is okay. So now it's like, oh, just gotta train.
Right. I know my weakness when Dr. Iverson asked me at the interview, I told him it was public speaking. I was like, he's like, it's okay. You'll get used to it. You'll be okay. I was just like, "Ooh." So when we got presentations, I was like, ah. But I'm happy I got through the first one.
I was gonna say you have a really good presence. Like you're someone that I just naturally think she is in charge and she knows what she's talking about. I don't know what it is, but you just have a very natural presence about you with that. One thing that I want you to be aware of is that you said you guys a lot, and that can be really received poorly.
Right.
And because I have a friend who actually introduced a speech that way at a corporate event, and he heard from a lot of people about that was not D&I appropriate. So just something to be aware of because it implies guys versus, so you can just say you all. It's an easy substitution, just to say you all. But that's for everyone to know. Like that can be a very corporate response.
I think that you obviously know what you're talking about, and I think your slides looked really great too. As for being like an introverted presenter, I am too. So maybe what I would recommend is just to try and engage us more, just take more control of the room, I think. You were standing in kind of that one area a little bit. So I think if you'd maybe try walking around a little bit more, I think that might just naturally get us to be able to be more engaged in the presentation more. It's something that I try to do too. My tendency is to just stay in one place too, but I try to remind myself to longer. I'd recommend that.
Did anyone ask what you think could have been better?
No.
What do you think could have gone better?
My confidence.
Okay.
And I had did it already over there, and Mark, I don't know where he went, but Mark critiqued me. So then I last minute tried to switch up things in my presentation, and so that created a little bit of certainty for me. So like I said, just my confidence and the uncertainty of the last minute switch.
Do you have any ideas about how you could build your confidence?
I personally think as I get more comfortable with everyone, my confidence just naturally, it's more of a wall of being an introvert and not being able to, not speaking to everybody. So in that sense or that form, I'm more like, not closed-minded, but just like nervous. But I mean, 6 months from now, I'm sure I'll be like, hey, everybody, and making everybody laugh, so.
It's interesting saying God's in your head in front of us. Saying you're an introvert and then being vulnerable, talking about like what you could do to build confidence, what you could do to be better at speaking. and it's just flowing naturally. So connecting your, maybe your presentation to that kind of like muscle or that like internal feeling where you are, that might help you build your confidence. Like, oh, I'm Dom, like, of course I can do this. Like, actually, are you okay with that nickname?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I was like, everyone started calling you Dom. I was like, oh, I should like that. But yeah, like kind of like channeling that, right? Like, because you're speaking fine right there. You're taking this feedback really well, and you're articulating things that you feel that you could have done better in a really well, like clear manner. So channel that, I think. And what is your practice? What did your practice kind of routine look like?
My practice routine was yesterday, I recorded myself with the voice recorder.
Okay.
Just in my living room about like 6 times on my phone. And those were like 7 minutes. Then this morning I got up and I'm like, hey, can you listen to me? I told my friend, can you listen to me? So I practiced this morning a few times and he's like, you need to fix your voice. And I'm like, what do you mean fix my voice? Like, you sound like a mom. I'm like, how do you sound like a mom? But okay, so.
Moms are commanding.
Mom's a powerful superhero.
Okay. So when it came to that, it was just like I practiced by myself and then practiced today. I sent my slides yesterday to Marina for feedback. Then I came to class a little early to practice in the other classroom and got feedback from a few other people. So I'm totally open to feedback when I'm practicing.
Yeah.
How nervous and unconfident do you think you appear?
I think I come off nervous because when my words aren't connecting, then I know like, oh, some shit. Like I'm nervous when I can't get it out of my mind. It's a thing with connecting my words, my mouth, and my thoughts. So it's like,
I don't want to speak on behalf of the class. It sounds like you thought you were here. I thought you were like right here. Like you did not seem as nervous and as unconfident as you think you seem, which you should take to your advantage to say, oh, not as behind as I think I am. Because again, it just seemed like you forgot one time what you needed to say. That's all it seemed. You didn't seem like you were too nervous.
Great question.
Yeah, I noticed when you practiced in the other room, you did have more confidence and like I was able to see like the fierceness you had in your message. And then here, I don't know if maybe it was like the pause a little bit that like did build some like intensity here, with people getting food and everything with the break. But overall, I think yeah, just like with the confidence and believing in your message, it would just like tie together and like be able to. It was good, like closing with a quote.
I remember those. It sounds like you've thought about like what future Dom's gonna be like as a presenter. What are 1 or 2 characteristics that you're excited to be known for as a speaker as the school year progresses and as the program progresses?
well, of course, confident.
Yeah.
I want to come off as confident. I want to come off intellectual, articulate. I want people to know, like, oh, that's Dom. Like you said, she knows what she's talking about. We can see her in corporate America running things. So that's what I really hope that my presentation skills end up weighing out to.
That's exciting.
Stay with me on this. Yeah. Don't give another presentation. Your Q&A saved you. Your presentation is okay, but you are great. Like, you're amazing. Like, you really showed up in your Q&A. That was awesome. That was really nice. You referenced, you made jokes, you connected with the audience, you had good banter back and forth, you listened really well, you give great attention. People feel comfortable talking to you. That's phenomenal.
Oh my gosh, I'm about to start crying.
So you did a great job. You don't have to give a presentation. Just come up there and be done. I really appreciated what you did. Thank you.